Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about a design pattern that is all about one simple, powerful idea, smart delegation. This is the factory method. Let's get right into it.
So just for a second, imagine you're running a huge company. You need everybody, engineers, marketers, designers, you name it. How on earth do you manage the hiring for all of those completely different jobs?
It's a massive challenge, right? There's no way one single hiring manager can be an expert in everything. They can't know the deep technical questions for a back-end engineer and also know what to ask a digital marketing guru. You'd be totally swamped, and you'd probably end up making some pretty bad hires.
So what do? Well, you delegate. The main manager acts like a coordinator, but when it's time for the actual interview, they pass the baton to a specialist, someone who actually lives and breathes that specific field. And that right there, that simple act of delegating to an expert is the heart and soul of the factory method pattern. It's a way to let the different parts of your code handle creating the things they know best. Let's break down how that works.
First up, let's really dig into this idea of the delegating manager. Getting this analogy right makes the whole concept just click into place. The process itself is super simple, really. A new job opens up, the main hiring manager takes a look and says, okay, what kind of role is this? Then, based on the answer, developer, marketer, whatever, they delegate the real work to the right specialist manager.
And this is where the magic happens. The marketing manager knows exactly what makes a great marketer. The development manager can spot a great coder a mile away. It just makes sense, right? Each specialist handles their own hiring because they're the expert in that domain.
Okay, analogy locked in. So now for the fun part. How do we translate all of this into actual code? How do we go from people to programs? So here's the textbook definition. The factory method pattern gives you a way to delegate the instantiation logic, that's just a fancy way of saying the creation part, down to the child classes. You set up a general contract, but you let the kids decide how to actually get it done.
But you know what? Let's just throw that jargon out the window. All it really means is what you see right here. Let each department pick its own interviewer. It's that simple. Each part of the system gets to make its own choice.
And this table here maps it out perfectly for us. Our big picture hiring manager from the story, that's our abstract creator class in code. The specialist managers, like the dev manager, are our concrete creator subclasses. The general idea of an interviewer is our product interface, and the specific developer that gets hired is our concrete product. See how it all lines up?
The way this all works is by calling a special factory method. Think of it like this. The base class says, hey, we need to create something here, but it's the specialized child classes that step up and say, okay, I'll take it from here, and I'm going to create a developer. They override that method to do their specific job.
Okay, this next part is really important. If you've ever heard of a simple factory, this can get confusing. So let's talk about the killer differentiator between the two.
When you see them side by side, it becomes crystal clear. With a simple factory, you've got this one central class making all the decisions for everybody. It's like a single command center. But with the factory method, that decision-making power is delegated. It's pushed down to the subclasses. Each one decides for itself.
So if you get one thing from this comparison, make it this. A simple factory centralizes control, while a factory method distributes it. It's the difference between a micromanager and a leader who trusts their team to make their own calls.
All right, so we know what it is and how it's different. But when do you actually pull this pattern out of your toolkit? Let's run through a quick, practical checklist. Okay, so you're going to want to reach for this pattern when your main class knows it needs to create an object, but it doesn't know the exact type of object until runtime. It's perfect for when you want to empower your subclasses, to give them control over the objects they create. You're basically future-proofing your code.
And hey, just as important as knowing when to use a tool is knowing when to leave it in the box. Over-engineering is a real trap, so let's have a quick word of caution.
Look, if your object creation is simple and it's probably not going to change, don't overcomplicate things. If one class can easily handle all the logic, just stick with that. The factory method adds a new layer of classes, and you should only do that when the flexibility it gives you is worth the extra complexity.
So if you remember just one single thing from all of this, please make it this word, delegation. That is what the factory method pattern is all about. It's about pushing responsibility down to where it belongs.
It all comes right back to this simple phrase. Your goal is to delegate the logic of creating things down to the child classes that are actually designed to handle them. That's it. And that leaves us with a final question for you to think about. As you go back to your own work, to your next project, where could this kind of smart delegation make your design cleaner, more flexible, and honestly, just a whole lot easier to manage? Thanks for joining me.